do anything, you're going to want to cover over that engine while you're doing everything else and prepping the rocker cover. So I'm going to cover it over with a paper bag. You could use cling film foil or anything like that, just to make sure that no dirt and dust gets inside. So for this next step, you're going to need some nitro moors, a brush to apply it with, and gloves to protect your hands, because you don't want this stuff going on your skin. Now, it's probably going to be a good idea to replace this old gasket anyway. It'd probably be recommended to. You don't have to, you could probably reuse it. I have reused one on more than one occasion, but you just need to pull it away. Get the gloves on. Make sure you put them on properly all the way up, because this stuff is nasty. So I'll put some tissue in the holes as well. And start dabbing away. Apply it quite thickly, all over first. So I've been doing this now for about 10 minutes to cover everything here, so it's had a good chance to kind of start eating away at the paint. Now I need to apply another coat, this time working the nitro moors into the actual blister. Okay, and now we wait for about 20 minutes. Okay, and now it's time to hose it down. I'll get some of the tissue out of the way first. Right, now you can use a wire brush to get rid of any last bits that are still there, and then score the surface with some 600 grit, ready for the paint. And before the paint, you might want to use some kind of degreaser on it, just so that it will stick properly and the paint will dry and set properly. I'm just going to use fairy liquid, that'll be good enough. Okay, so the next thing is, just before paint, it's all degreased, it's all ready to go. The parts on the rocker cover that you don't want to have the paint on, for instance around where the oil cap will kind of sit, and then there's various other kind kind of bolts and seatings for other things, you want to use Vaseline and put dab a layer of Vaseline around those areas, and this kind of bronzy gold connection here for a hose. Once you've done that, carefully try and put tissue or something inside the hole so that none of the paint gets inside, and then you're good to go. It's getting dark now, so I'm not sure how much you're going to see with the spraying, but let's give it a go. Oh yeah, you will also notice that I've put it on a board. Just put it on something so that you can move it. So you're going to want to be spraying it outside, and then obviously you're going to want to bring it inside somewhere warm. What you're supposed to do is put it in the oven and bake it for an hour, or you can bring it inside and leave it for 24 hours for the paint to cure, just because it is this special wrinkle paint. You are going to want to use a mask for this because you're spraying, obviously, and you don't want to end up with red wrinkly bogies. So put your mask on, and then you need to spray in 3 directions. I think it's all coats in one go, 3 coats, vertically, horizontally and diagonally. Okay, so I've left the rock cover to dry overnight, and then I've wiped off all the parts that had the Vaseline on with a tissue. I also used nail polish remover, cotton buds and toothpicks to finally scrape everything off. Now it's in the oven. You're supposed to bake it, but as you can see, the oven's a bit too small for that. So I am trying to kind of use the grill to harden it and heat it. I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but we'll see. Okay, so it's out of the oven. I've put the 2 plugs back in here, just with the 10mm bolts there, and now it's time to put the new gasket on, and then we're ready to fit it. So the new gasket only goes on one direction. You can tell because there's a bigger notch on one side and a slimmer notch on the other side there. That one's obviously going there, so it only goes one way. What I'm going to do is just run a bit of oil, just normal engine oil, around it, just to kind of try and seal it in. I'm going to put it on here and on the actual gasket as well. Just going to rub it lightly here. There is actual gasket sealer that you can use, but I haven't got any with me today, and I really need to get my car back on the road. Just get a good coverage on the gasket. That's just about done. So now we can lay it in. Make sure it's fully in, sitting properly.